Thomas Gates brings with him a unique professional career in civil engineering, public service, and the law. He was recently selected as Top Attorney and Civil Engineer of the Year for 2018 by the International Association of Top Professionals, IAOTP, for his outstanding leadership and commitment to his professions and community. Mr. Gates' father was career Army. Hence, his moving every 2 or 3 years, exposing him to different building designs and construction methods. And at 11 years old, he set a goal to be a civil engineer. In 1979, he achieved that goal. However, it was not the designing and building of structures that had originally drew him to the profession, but rather being able to use applied engineering to analyze unique, state-of-the-art technology problems. As a practicing engineer for nearly 25 years, Mr. Gates focused on the environmental and waste management areas. He was a member of the American Concrete Institute and American Society of Civil Engineers National Standards Committees. He is credited with involvement in 14 technological reports and numerous presentations. Mr. Gates was a former consultant for the Electrical Power Research Institute and Atomic Energy of Canada Limited. Mr. Gates was the lead judge for the Washington State's Science Talent Search for 6 straight years. For his contributions, he was elected as a Fellow of the American Society of Civil Engineers. He also served as the chair of Washington State's Solid Waste Advisory Committee, providing guidance to the Department of Ecology. To balance his technical work, Mr. Gates got involved in local government. He first served on the Richland Physical Planning Committee, finding his civil engineering background allowed him to effectively review, analyze, and comment on matters such as land use, shoreline setbacks, or environmental matters brought to the committee. He served 4 years as chair before being elected to the City Council for 2 terms, as well as serving as mayor. Mr. Gates was also elected to 2 terms as a director, Association of Washington Cities. This permitted him to serve on several state committees where he worked with legislatures, other public officials, and state personnel to address issues that impacted the state as a whole. Mr. Gates found this was most rewarding in his service for the community. Mr. Gates is also an active participant in his community, serving on numerous social services, civic, and fraternal boards, including the Salvation Army, the Benton Franklin Community Action Committee, March of Dimes, Kiwanis Club of Richland, Camp Kiwanis Foundation, the Knights of Columbus, as well as other social service organizations. Mr. Gates says his work with nonprofit organizations is the most fulfilling. He now does pro bono legal service for nonprofits. He was recognized for his contributions by receiving the Kiwanis Distinguished President Award in 1996, Salvation Army's Stephen T. Pack Representative Award in 1989, and in 1987 was named Outstanding Young Man of America. Hitting a crossroad in his life, Mr. Gates wondered how he could best serve others during the last third of his life. He chose law. His work as an environmental engineer and public official was intertwined with the law, often requiring a steep learning curve to address his work as an engineer and service in local government. Mr. Gates formed Gates Law PLLC immediately after being admitted to the Washington State Bar. He relied on the experiences and skills formed in civil engineering and local government as foundations for the firm. Mr. Gates believes that best defines his career. It wasn't a straight line, but rather a lot of different tracks that ultimately came together in the field of law. As owner and founder of Gates Law PLLC, his firm specializes in civil litigation, personal injury, business and nonprofit, estate planning and trusts, and defense of criminal and DUI charges. Gates' firm understands that when people hire an attorney, they are often experiencing very stressful situations. These people require and deserve an advocate who cares about them and doesn't simply go through the motions. For this reason, Gates' Law makes sure their clients not only receive high-quality legal service, but also the reassurance they deserve. Being an advocate is a word that Mr. Gates never considered until he went to law school. But it's something I've been doing my whole life, says Mr. Gates. Mr. Gates contributes his ability to listen as the foundation for anything he does. The people I meet need legal assistance, and I enjoy helping them address their concerns. I try to meet them on a personal level. The main thing is that they feel comfortable, that I'm a person of my word and I follow through. My goal is to make sure that my client, in making a decision, is fully informed, and then in turn is comfortable with the decision they make. The discipline of engineering allows one to deconstruct problems and reconstruct them in a way that people can understand, says Mr. Gates. Throughout his illustrious career, Mr. Gates has received many awards, accolades, and has been recognized worldwide for his outstanding leadership and commitment to his professions. For 2019, he's being considered to be featured in TIP, Top Industry Professional magazine, and is also being considered for IAOTP's Lifetime Achievement Award. For 2018, he was selected as Top Attorney and Civil Engineer of the Year by the International Association of Top Professionals and listed with the Top 100 Registry. In 2017, Mr. Gates listed as America's Top 100 Attorneys Lifetime Achiever and received the Albert Nelson Marquis Lifetime Achievement Award from the Marquis Who's Who. For 2016, Mr. Gates received the Top 10 Under 40 Award by the National Academy of Personal Injury Attorneys. For 2015, he received the Excellence in Legal Service by the U.S. Commerce and Trade Research Institute and received the Premier 100 Trial Attorneys Award by the American Academy of Trial Attorneys. And named on multiple occasions as a Rising Star by the Washington Super Lawyers. For 2004, he was named King County Bar Association Volunteer Legal Services Volunteer Attorney of the Year. Mr. Gates received his Bachelor of Science degree and Master of Science degree in Civil Engineering from Kansas State University. He received his Juris Doctorate degree from Seattle University School of Law after going back to school in 1998. Mr. Gates is licensed professional civil engineering in Washington, Kansas, and Alaska. He is licensed to practice before the Washington State Bar Association and in federal court by the United States District Court of Western District of Washington. Mr. Gates attributes his success by staying passionate in all his endeavors. He says his work is very gratifying and hopes others would consider a career in law and engineering. When not working, he enjoys gardening, woodworking, cooking, and reading. For nearly 20 years, Mr. Gates has practiced the art of bonsai, permitting him to stay connected with the environment when he cannot get away. A faithful companion, Mr. Gates' cockapoo, Allie, goes to work every day and manages the office. For the future, Mr. Gates will continue to follow a simple creed. He saw a need, he cared, and he made a difference, and hopes to make a difference in the world and in people's lives any way that he's able to.